Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is RBT and welcome back to another Madden 18 video, and today I'm bringing you guys something a little bit different. As most of you probably know, most of the content on my channel has to deal with connected franchise, and a lot of it has to deal with making trades, whether it be my connected franchise series, rebuilds. We do a lot of trades. So I thought, why not bring you guys a video? Maybe some of you that are kind of new to connected franchise and want to try to get good players in trades. I want to show you the 10 easiest superstars to trade for in Madden 18 connected franchise. I'm going to show you guys the superstars that I'm going to trade for. I'm going to walk you through the trade, see exactly what it takes to bring these players in. It's not going to be a lot. It's going to vary a little bit in terms of how good the players actually are, but there are definitely a couple like superstar top of the line players we are going to be getting in today's video. Some of them are going to be easier than others, but they all are superstars, and I think the lowest overall player that we're going to be trading for in today's video is 91 overall. So hopefully you guys do enjoy today's video, and maybe this video will help some of you out. And if you guys want me to do the 10 hardest players to trade for in Madden 18 connected franchise, get this video to 2,000 likes and I will 100% do that. It's just very strange because there's some players that like you don't think would be easy to get that are easy to get. But on the flip side, there are some players that you wouldn't think would be that hard to get if some of these players are easy to get, and they're just like super freaking hard to get. So that would come at a later date if you guys do want to see that video. But with that said, let's jump into today's video and show you some of the superstars that we can get for practically, well, it's a little bit more than nothing, but it's a lot easier than what you think. So the first superstar player that is pretty easy to get in Madden 18 connected franchise, we're going to be going to the Baltimore Ravens and getting a beast veteran safety, and that is Eric Weddle. Eric Weddle's been in the league for a long time, but man, he's still a 94 overall in connected franchise. There's a freaking wasp. Dog, it's freaking right here. Dog, can y'all see this? Dude, can y'all see that wasp? No. Oh, God, where'd it go? Y'all can't see it. Where'd it go? It's flying. It's flying. So guys, I would like to give a massive shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. SeatGeek is the #1 app when it comes to getting the best ticket for the best price to any sporting event out there. SeatGeek rates all the deals from 1 to 100 to give you the best deal possible. And as you see, if you're looking at the app and looking at a particular sporting event, like I'm looking at the Texans and Titans, I can click on any of these tickets and actually show me what the view looks like from that seat. And for only $100, this is an incredible seat. And if I'm being completely honest, dude, the past year or so, every single time I've gone to a sporting event, I have in fact used SeatGeek to get the best deal possible. As you see here, there's a Red Sox game coming up soon within the next month. There's actually tickets available on the Green Monster. There's actually more than just sports that you can get tickets for on the app. You can get concert tickets, you can get Broadway show tickets, comedy tickets, music festival tickets, and a lot more. There will be a link to go download the app in the description box below, and once you go download the app, use the code RBT to get $20 off your first purchase. And once again, thanks so much to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. They are a fantastic company, and I would not agree to do this otherwise. But with that said, guys, let's get into the rest of the video. So I apologize for the interruption. The wasp is just up there chilling. Let's get back to the video. But Eric Weddle, a veteran safety, 94 overall, he shouldn't be this easy to get, but he is. And another thing, I am using the Browns in this video because they have a lot of draft picks to use for these trades, and I'm going to try my best to get all 10 players on the same team in the same connected franchise. I can't necessarily guarantee that, but that's going to be the goal. But for Eric Weddle, all you have to throw in is like a 4th and a 5th round draft pick, maybe a little bit more depending on some different things, but we're going to submit this and see how close it is for Eric Weddle. And then we probably can just throw in somebody that's just like not good at all. Let's throw in the worst wide receiver on the Browns, 54 overall Mario Alford, and it was accepted. So basically, I mean, that's nothing whatsoever for a 94 overall. Like, talk about a superstar. I'm pretty sure he even has superstar development trait. That's just incredible that, like, if you need a free safety, just throw up, like, I think you can just throw in a 3rd round draft pick and get them, but you don't even have to give your 3rd round draft pick. You could probably give a 4th, a 6th, and then some type of average player. So Eric Weddle is a go-to free safety in any connected franchise or rebuild you guys ever do. So you might tell in this video that some of the players, not all, but some of them could be potentially considered veterans of the game, but it does not mean they're not superstars. So a little bit older, but still, man, can definitely help out your connected franchise. And we're going to go to the Arizona Cardinals, and he's still high overall. He's 94 overall, and that's Larry Fitzgerald. Yes, like I said, 34 years old, but still, if you need a wide receiver, if you're desperate for a wide receiver, you can get this guy for pretty much nothing. In terms of draft picks, I'm pretty sure you could throw in a third and get him, but we're going to try to get him for less than that. We're throwing a fourth, see how close it is just for a fourth. I think it might be like halfway, I think. It's in the red, so never mind. They might have to get one like half-decent player that they're relatively interested in, but for a 94 overall receiver, it should take way more than like a couple draft picks. So let's throw in, they need a cornerback. So let's see if we can throw in a 71 overall. They're not interested in him. Let's throw in, why don't we just go ahead and throw in a third? See how close a third is for Larry Fitzgerald. I think it should be relatively close. See, it's in the orange, man. So let's see if we can throw in some half just crappy players to bring in Larry Fitz. Let's try throwing in a half decent left tackle, Zach Stirrup. Let's see if they're possibly interested in either of these guys. They're interested in both of these guys. So let's see if we can get Larry Fitzgerald straight up for a 75 overall left tackle. And you know what? Before we actually send that through, let's throw in a couple other crappy players, Cam Johnson or Carl Nassib, see if they're interested in these guys. They are. So we're going to try to throw in the lowest overall player that they are interested in to see if we can get them. So potentially one of these three guys. We have a lot of decent defensive tackles that they're all interested in. So let's see about middle linebacker. They'd be interested in Tank Carter. They're not. So now we're going to throw in, I believe it was a right end, 73 overall. Let's go with the older guy. So we're going to try to get Larry Fitzgerald for a 73 overall right end. I'm not sure if we'll go through straight up, but it will probably be close. And for Larry Fitzgerald, that is stupid. That is so stupid to be able to bring in a 94 overall for almost just a 73 overall player. So now let's go ahead and throw in that crappy draft pick that we had. Let's just throw in a sixth and throw in a fourth from next year. See if that's enough to bring in Larry Fitzgerald. Relatively close. So let's just go with the, do we have a fifth from this year, or do we just go ahead and throw in the fourth? Like, still, that's stupid to be able to bring in a 94 overall receiver for this. And kind of close, but I think this should be enough to bring in Larry Fitzgerald. Let's go with the 6th rounder for this year. So you can bring in one of the best receivers in the game, 94 overall Larry Fitz, for a 73 overall right end, a 4th round draft pick, and a 6th round draft pick. And of course, if you're watching this video and don't have the Browns, it's going to vary on what players you can potentially trade away that they'll be interested in. But still, this just shows you the players that are so easy to get. And you just got to find maybe one player that's not a high overall they're somewhat interested in. And just by throwing in a couple extra draft picks, you can bring them into your team. So now for you fellas that need offensive line help in your connected franchise, we're going to go with a huge overall player. 97 overall on the Dallas Cowboys, Zack Martin. 97. And this is where the trend's a little bit different, because the first two players were a little bit older. You know, we had Eric Weddle and Larry Fitz a little bit over 30 years old. But this guy's 26 years old. Not even technically in the prime of his career yet. And let's see how easy he is to get. Let's see if we can just find one player they're interested in. We have a lot of defensive tackles that they are interested in. Like, remember, this is like a Pro Bowler, Zack Martin. Let's see if there's any of our defensive tackles they won't matter. Let's see how close this is for Zack Martin. And it's not that close, but like for still, a 76 overall for Zack Martin. Now let's see if we have a left outside linebacker. We don't have any left outside linebackers. How about a strong safety they'd be interested in? Derek Kindred, not interested in him. How about a cornerback that we have that they would potentially be interested in? How about we throw in the veteran Jason McCourty? They're not interested in him because he's older. How about Jamar Taylor? He's a little bit younger. How about Bodie Calhoun? Okay, they are interested in Taylor. Not interested in Calhoun. So what do we go with now? Let's throw in. Let's see what draft picks they would be interested in. So I mean, I think a 2nd round draft pick added in for a 97 overall Pro Bowl offensive guard. That's gonna just progress throughout your series. I think this would be a fair trade, but I think it might take a little bit more. But still, this is stupid easy for a 97 overall. So we're gonna submit this offer, and it's getting up there. So we probably need one more draft pick to be able to bring him in. Let's throw in, let's see if a 3rd from next year is enough to bring him in, and it was accepted. So for Zack Martin, one of the best offensive linemen in the game, that is still going to progress throughout your connected franchise, it takes like a 5th string defensive tackle, a 2nd round draft pick, and a 3rd round draft pick. It doesn't even take a 1st round draft pick to bring in a player that's 97 overall. Now this is one of the stupidest, most easiest trades we're going to get out of this video. Still going to be on the offensive line, going to the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to be getting ourselves another young player, Lane Johnson. Well, he's kind of up there, 27, but still not old whatsoever. Still probably going to progress throughout your connected franchise, just getting to the prime of his career. And let's see how easy he is to bring in. Lane Johnson, like let's try 6 from this year, a 4th from next year and see how close this is. And it's in the orange. And that's basically nothing whatsoever for Lane Johnson. So they need a quarterback. How about, okay, let's see if we can trade away Brock Osweiler. If we could get Lane Johnson for Brock Osweiler, that would actually, we'd make $7 million from this deal in terms of our cap room. I think this has a chance. It's in the yellow. So now, if we go and throw in that bullcrap draft pick, which was a 6, I think we threw in. And let's go with let's see how close the 6 is by itself. It's still in the yellow. So now let's go ahead and throw in our 4th from next year. See how close it is to getting Lane Johnson. It's in the green now, and that kind of sucks. That's pretty, close, but didn't go through. So now we're going to throw in, let's go with our 2nd from next year. This will probably go through straight up. So why not go ahead and throw in try to get a couple extra draft picks from the Eagles in this deal. Let's get their 7th and 6th from this year and see if this will go through. It's so close, man. So let's just try to get their 7th or just their 6th from this year and Lane Johnson for Brock Osweiler and a 2nd round draft pick from next year. And this deal was accepted. Dude, that is so stupid. That is actually so stupid that we get a 91 overall right tackle in the prime of his career for a quarterback that costs $12 million. Now moving on to the Buffalo Bills to get our first running back of the video, LeSean McCoy. He doesn't cost that much. He's a 94 overall. Still a top 5 running back in the league. Definitely not really old or anything. So I don't understand why it would be so easy to get him, but we're going to show you guys how easy it actually is to bring in LeSean McCoy. Let's try to find one player that they're sort of interested in to bring in LeSean McCoy. So a 71 overall strong safety. I feel like this might be enough to bring in LeSean McCoy. Might have to add in a crappy draft pick or a couple crappy players, but just a 71 overall. Let's see how close this is to bringing in Shady. And look at that, dude. A 94 for a 71. That is so stupid. And I'm telling you, not every player is valued like this. Like Le'Veon Bell, if this was the same scenario, Le'Veon Bell wouldn't be out of the red when you're trying to trade. I don't understand how the game values certain players, and I'll explain one a little bit later. It just doesn't make sense, but that's why I'm showing you 10 of the players that it's like this. That's easy to get and bring into your team. So let's see if they need a cornerback. So let's try throwing in one of the crappy corners. We have a 71, and then we have another wide receiver we could throw in that's lower than Josh Gordon. How about Ricardo Lewis? I don't think this would go through. I think that's enough value. That was accepted. Wow, look at that. Look at that, dude. 271 overalls and a 63 for LeSean McCoy. So now we're going to try to bring in another player, and you guys might be like, this guy should not be this easy to bring in. Some consider him to be the best running back in the NFL. We're going to go to the Arizona Cardinals, get our 2nd player from this team in this video, and that is David Johnson. He's 25 years old, not even in the prime of his career yet. And like I said, most people consider him, or not most, some people have him 1 and 2 with Le'Veon Bell, rather it be Le'Veon Bell 1 or him 1 or vice versa. But let's see what it's going to take to bring in David Johnson. They need a wide receiver. Like players like this, you are going to have a couple players that they're interested in, but still, the value you send away in terms of what you bring in, it's just stupid easy. So let's see if they're interested in Josh Gordon, and they are. This I feel like would be about halfway for David Johnson. That's about right, about halfway. But I don't think we'll have to throw in a draft pick for him. So how about a cornerback? We have a veteran cornerback, Jason McCourty, that we could let go to the Cardinals. They are interested in him. So Josh Gordon and a veteran 30-plus-year-old cornerback. Let's see how close this is for David Johnson. Look how that's just so stupid, man. Let's try to find one more player that they are interested in. They don't even necessarily have to be interested in them. Let's throw in, they need a left tackle. So let's throw in, what left tackle do we have? We have Matthew McCants or Rod Johnson. How about Matthew McCants? So this right here, I feel like if I took him out, would this be any closer? This is just stupid, man. So freaking stupid. So let's go ahead and throw in Jason McCourty and see how close this is. It's about the same as it was with Josh Gordon's. How about a 3rd round draft pick from this year? And then let's go ahead and try to get a 7th round draft pick. Try to get as much value as possible. Because if you watch my videos, you know that's what I'm about. I try to get as much as I can out of every single deal. Because I feel like a 3rd rounder from this year is too much to bring in David Johnson. So I try to get 2 draft picks added as well. And it was accepted. So for a 76 an 82 aging cornerback, and a third rounder for this year, we get arguably the best running back in the NFL, who's still like not even yet in the prime of his career, still 25 years old, and a 6th and 7th round draft pick. So dude, that's crazy. So moving back to the offensive line for this player, and this is going to be Marshall Yanda, another super easy player to get in Madden 18 Connected Franchise. Arguably the best lineman in the NFL, not the highest rated lineman in Madden this year. I think he was the last couple of years, but this year he's a 96 overall, still an absolute beast in Connected Franchise despite the age, and he might start to regress a little bit throughout the first year, but still, if you could get him for as easy as you're going to see in this trade, he would be worth it. So let's see what it's going to take to bring in Marshall Yanda. I want to see if he's somebody that we could just add in a draft pick and get. I feel like he is. So I feel like that would go through straight up. So let's see if we can just get a player that's lower overall that they are interested in. So how about any right tackles? Cameron Irving, a 75 overall, and I really have a feeling that this is going to go through straight up. Look at that. Look at that. It takes a 75 overall player, and if I wasn't stupid, I probably also could have got a couple draft picks like I did in the David Johnson deal. So to make this video work, I had to trade one of my players away just to bring him back, because he's one of the players that are easy to get in Madden 18 Connected Franchise, and I can't obviously trade for him if he's on my team. But now we're going to go to the Seattle Seahawks, who I just traded him to, and that is none other than 98 overall Joe Thomas. I think he is either the number 1 or number 2 rated offensive lineman in this game. He actually just broke a record, or just hit a milestone of having 1,000 straight offensive snaps that he did not miss. That is insane. Thinking of an offensive or an NFL player in general, a football player in general, not to miss a snap and 1,000 snaps is incredible. Spencer Drango, they're kind of interested in him. So let's see if a player that they're sort of interested in that's 22 overall lower is enough to bring him in. Probably not. Kind of close though. I mean, that's just so stupid. So now let's throw in one of those draft picks that we did have. Let's throw in a 6th and this 4th from next year. And it's actually kind of close now. How about instead, since we've not used our 2nd round draft pick, let's just throw in a 2nd round draft pick to see if we can get a superstar for just a second. I'm not sure if this would go through straight up, but just in case it does, as you know how I am, let's see if we can get a 7th also added in this deal. Let's see. And it's kind of close, dude. It is kind of freaking close. So let's take out the 7th round draft pick and throw in, I don't know, one of the defensive tackles that they weren't necessarily interested in. Let's go Xavier Cooper. And then they also need a cornerback. Let's see if Marcus Burley and Xavier Cooper, who they have no interest in, can make this deal go through. And it was accepted. So for a 2nd round draft pick and 2 players that the team has no interest in, we bring in one of the best offensive linemen in the game. Now boys, it is time to get serious. Yes, the first 8 players that we did get in today's video were superstars, and they were all pretty easy to get, but they were all freaking superstars. But now for these last 2 players, it's time to take the next step. We're going after once in a generation type players, and they should not be this easy to get, and they should be the players that would come in the impossible to get video. There should be no way you could get these players, but there obviously is, because they're in this video. But the first player we are going to go after is none other than the main man, my favorite player that's not a Tennessee Titan, Julio Jones. 99 overall, in the prime of his career and getting better. You should be able to throw in the best 3 players in the league and not be able to get Julio Jones. That's how good he is, although that kind of made no sense. But you get what I'm saying. I'm kind of over-exaggerating, but you just get what I'm saying. He should not be easy to get whatsoever. But let's just see, let's just test out some things. I don't think I've ever got Julio Jones when I'm the Browns, but let's just see what it takes. They need a right guard. Okay, so we have a lot of right guards in this video, but we'll throw in 32-year-old John Greco, who they are interested in. So let's just see for him how close this is. It should not be close at all, and it's really not that close. But, I mean, that's how it should be for Julio Jones, right? Now they need a right outside linebacker. Who do we have that we could trade away? They would not be interested in those players. But let's see, a left end, Emmanuel Ogbah. They're not interested in him either, so that's actually kind of interesting. They do need a tight end. To bring in Julio Jones, it will take you trading away a good player, but, it's freaking worth it for Julio Jones. David Njoku, a rookie, 82 overall, added in the deal. And look how close it got just from that. So instead of the 3rd, we're going to throw in a 2nd for Julio Jones. I'm not sure if this will go through. It might take a 1st, but this still shows you how easy this freaking is. So for a 2nd rounder, Like, look at that, dude, in real life. If you just think about an actual trade going through for John Greco, David Njoku, and a second-round draft pick for Julio Jones, you would think you were high and just snorted about 85 LSD pills. Don't even know if LSD comes in pill form, but that's my expression. And let me just try to get all these players without throwing a first-round draft pick. So instead of throwing in John Greco, we'll throw in Kevin Zeitler. We don't need him now since we have Zack Martin and Marshall Yonda, so we'll throw in Kevin Zeitler, and that'll actually help us save some money in this deal. And now it is time. Let's see if we can get him with a third-round draft pick now. I think that actually might be a possibility for Julio Jones, and it's actually not. But I think the second rounder might be enough now, or maybe if it doesn't go up at all, that'd be kind of weird. And it was accepted. So look at that, boys. For Kevin Zeitler, David Njoku, and a second-round draft pick, we bring in, arguably, I believe, a lot of people believe, maybe you don't believe, but I believe, and a lot of other people believe, the best wide receiver in the NFL. And now this is where things are weird. Now this is why I talked about the impossible to bring in video and why I even brought that up and why this is even a discussion. So Julio Jones, we just got him for a starting right guard that's pretty good, a good rookie tight end, in a second round draft pick, but still that never in a million years to be another bring in Julio Jones. Now, we go to the Giants. And Odell Beckham Jr., who's 3 overall lower. I think they should, even though, because Odell Beckham Jr. is a little bit younger, they should have like the same amount of value, you know? I feel like that should be a thing. But for Odell Beckham Jr., man, let's throw in our best middle linebacker, Christian Kirksey. I guarantee he's not out of the red. Look at that, man. Christian Kirksey, 85 overall, and this deal isn't even out of the red. Now let's throw in, let's go ahead and throw in one of our first-round draft picks. We've yet to even touch a first-round draft pick. The number 1 overall pick in the draft. And it's not even out of the orange yet. Now, what else do we have we could trade away? I don't know. Let's go with our left tackle, 98 overall, Joe Thomas. And look at that, man. So, just take that deal we just had, put that into perspective, and now we're offering a beast, young, 85 overall, who I don't think we've traded away an 85 overall player yet, aside from Kevin Zeitler, who's an offensive lineman, but a young 85 overall player, a first-round draft pick, and one of the best offensive linemen in the game for Odell Beckham Jr., and this deal is barely over halfway to being accepted, and we just got Julio Jones for a lot less value than what we just attempted to trade away Odell Beckham for. So some of the trades in this game make no sense, hence why I picked these players out for this video. But we still have one player to get for today's video, and that is going to end off this video with a bang. And you might be sitting there asking yourself, who's a better player than Julio Jones that you could possibly get in a trade for relatively easy? Well, there's one player, and it's a 9 overall, and his name is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and arguably one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. We're going to try to get him in a trade, and this should, I mean, Aaron Rodgers should never even, him and trade should never be put in the same sentence. But today, we're going to make it happen because we're playing Madden 18. So let's see how easy it is to bring in Aaron Rodgers. So they want a cornerback. I'd be willing to part with a cornerback. I'm going to see if I can get all these players without trading a first-round draft pick. If I got to, but still. I mean, a first-round draft pick's worth it for Aaron Rodgers. So let's throw in, they want Joe Hayden. He's an 83 overall. You know what? That will help us save some money in the deal because Aaron Rodgers is kind of expensive, but so is Joe Hayden. Let's see how close this is. See, man, that's almost halfway for Joe Hayden. Now, moving along, we have a left end, Emmanuel Ogbah, who I don't know why no team is interested in him. He's 76 and only like 23 years old, but anyways, I digress. Move on to defensive tackle. We have a ton of defensive tackles. They're not interested in any of ours, which is, that kind of hurts a little bit. But we'll move on to the next position. They need a left guard. I'm sure we do have a couple left guards we could trade away. We have Joel Bitonio, who they are interested in. And that deal is kind of close. I think a first would be enough. I'm not sure if a second would be quite enough to bring him in. But let's throw it in there anyway. Well, we don't even have a second. How about a first from next year added to the deal? And kind of close. Now, is a first from this year going to be enough? I'm not sure now. Let's throw that in. And it was accepted. So, boys, it takes to the 10th player of the video, the 10th and final player of the video that have to use a first-round draft pick. But, boys, Joe Hayden, Joel Bitonio, and a first-round draft pick for Aaron Rodgers. Just imagine this actually happening in real life. You know how stupid that would be. But you know what? This is Madden 18, and that's why he's in the video, because he's too freaking easy to get. So, boys, with only using one first-round draft pick in the whole entire video, we traded one 90 overall player away. for a very good player, which is Julio Jones. We get Joe Thomas back. We get a 97, a 98, and a 91 overall offensive line. One of the best quarterback in the game, because Tom Brady's, I think, only a 98. 99 Aaron Rodgers. We get two of the best running backs in the NFL, Julio Jones, Larry Fitzgerald. And on defense, we got Eric Weddle, and I think that's actually the only defensive player we got in the whole video, but still. In the same connected franchise with only using one first-round draft pick, the fact that you can get all 10 of these players is absolutely insane. But, boys, that's the video. Hopefully you did enjoy, and if you did, make sure to drop a like. Like I said, guys, 2,000 likes. You know what? I could actually come out with another video like this, 10 more superstars that you could get in trades easily in Madden 18 if this video does get good reception. And also, if this video does get 2,000 likes, I'll come out with a video, like I said, 10 impossible players to get in Madden 18 connected franchise, like Odell Beckham, which I showed you guys earlier. So, that's going to do it. Hopefully this video was helpful. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.